Okay, a researcher wishes to examine the relationship between years of schooling completed and the number of pregnancies in young women. Her research discovers a linear relationship, and the least squares line, that's the linear line that fits the data. You know, if you do a graph and you get a bunch of dots and you fit a line through, and that's called the least squares line, the line that fits through the dots. Here's the equation of the line, where X is the number of years of schooling completed and Y is the number of pregnancies. The slope of the regression line can be interpreted in the following way. So what is it? What are they talking about? Well, here's the equation of the line. Y equals 5 minus 2x. Did you know this part right here is the slope? The slope is the number next to X. So whenever you have a linear equation, you might remember from your earlier math classes, the slope is the number next to X. Sometimes they write the equation like this. It's the same thing. You know, they'll say that's as mx plus b. You might have seen that before. So the m is the slope. It's the number next to X. Either order is fine. So the slope is -2. Now, what does a slope mean? Do you remember that a slope, which is means rise over run? Do you remember that from earlier math classes? So if I take that -2 and I put it over 1, now why am I putting it over 1? Well, because any number that isn't a fraction can be put over 1 because dividing by 1 doesn't change it, right? I can't put it over 3 or 13 because that's a different number. 2 over 13, your -2 over 13 is not the same as -2. But -2 over 1, that's the same as -2, right? Dividing by 1 doesn't change it at all. And that way we can look at it like a fraction, which is helpful because that way we can see the rise and the run. So anyway, what does that slope mean? Well, what is the rise and the run? Rise is y values, right? On a graph, y values rise, x values run. Do you remember this kind of stuff from your earlier math classes? So rise over run is y over x. Rise is y, run is x. And what is y and x here? X is number of years of schooling. Number years of schooling. What is y? Number of pregnancies. Number of pregnancies. So what does that mean? That means down 2 pregnancies for every year of schooling. It's right here. Pregnancies decrease by 2. There it is. Does that make sense? Pregnancies down 2, decrease, negative. It's negative, so it's decreasing. It's decrease by 2. -2 on the pregnancies, right? -2 on the y for every +1 on the x. Increase by 1 year. So basically, young women that do more schooling tend to have less pregnancies, less babies. More schooling, less babies. That's what that graph is telling you. So the slope is rise over run, and that's y over x, and y is pregnancies, x is years of schooling. That means number of pregnancies goes down by 2 for every 1 increase in education. So that graph tells us about society. Young women that do more college probably end up having less babies on average. There we go.